Now finally on to the last phase of the workshop cleanup. In previous videos I talked about putting in the cabinets above the sliding pegboard and a French cleat system. I've built a few more cleats hopefully to clean up the area a bit more, and I'm going to be doing a few in the next little while, but I wanted to really focus on this area. In the last week or so I picked up this awesome used office storage cabinet which has got sliding doors which work really well, so I can keep my wood scraps, tools in bottom drawer, as well as more longer wood pieces and other scraps in the bottom drawer. So that really cleans up the area. Now I've also put in the storage for a few folding chairs we have, but the one thing that I'm really missing is more workspace. So that's what I'm going to focus on here, from basically this piece of wood over, and let's see how that's going to work. So I wanted to show you what the at least interim step for the smallest shop was, because I found that I was putting it off because it wasn't quite finished. But I'll just show you the high points right now, and it will still evolve. I've still got some ideas for storage, but here we go. So starting from the left, obviously the stack washer dryer, and I had some space here which was taken up by the folding chairs, which I've now put on the end. I'll show you that in a second. And I got these cabinets. They're formerly from an office off of Craigslist, and they were fantastic. I'll link up where we got them from in the description below. But there's a 2-drawer lateral which contains tools, all the stuff that would have gone on the shelf. Currently I've got the bottom shelf with longer wood scraps. And then what I did is, this was actually metal and I painted it with chalkboard paint so I can, write on it and erase and that sort of thing. But in here I've got some wood scraps, I've got my orbital sander, and on the other side I've got more tools which are here in their respective packages, and some other assorted things up here. So I haven't quite finished doing all of the organization of this stuff. That will hopefully come over time, and as I begin to use things, figure out a better way to store it. So also on top here I've got some space where I can use some storage. I can always use more storage. It's currently empty. And these two are my what do you call those, router flattening sleds. So this is the long one here, and obviously I just mount it on 2 vertical surfaces and horizontal surfaces, and then I put the router inside here, and then I can slide the router back and forth and flatten large slabs. And currently I just have it used for storage. On the end here I've stored these folding chairs which just used to sit on the floor. A very simple bracket, and which used to hold up the shelves, now holds up these actually surprisingly heavy chairs. So I had to make sure I mounted this directly to this metal cabinet, the end wall of the metal cabinet. It seems to be holding up pretty well. I've got a ladder which used to be in the furnace room, is now here. And then you may have seen this. This looks like a extension of the desk surface, of the workbench surface. And you'll be asking yourself, well, why did he go through all that trouble to create something which has got a hinge in it and moves? So the reason is because I do need to get my tools over to the window, and I use this pretty simple block and tackle on the ceiling to lift them up so I can get them outside. Otherwise I've got to track them through the house, up the stairs, through the kitchen, and out the door. So this, believe it or not, gives me an easier way to get them outside where I do most of my work in the summer. So as a result, I couldn't block this off. So now what happens is the table leaf actually lifts here and kind of stores out of the way. I usually just clamp it on the edge to the pegboard, and then this support, I just press in this metal detent, and then I can swing it out of the way, all the way back to the wall. And this tool chest also has wheels on it, so I can roll it out of the way and take those storage units out of the way as well. So long story short, that's why this has a hinge on it, because I wanted to use the space for layout space. I can always use more workbench space, but I needed to get in underneath it. Right now, this is storage here, my little compressor. I've continue to have my tools in this rolling tool chest, which is awesome. I went to the dollar store and threw down some of this padded flooring, which is great because I spend lots of time standing here. Mounted my bench vise. I installed these French cleats, and currently I've got a few things in them. I've got this one set up for drills, and I've got drill attachments up here in this clear section. And the other one I've got over here holds this pretty oversized power bar, which I use to mostly connect these chargers when I need to. And I'm going to be doing a few more French cleat storage solutions probably when I need them. I've got some pull-out storage here. These bins are from before, and I've really actually freed up a lot of space, which I haven't figured out what to do with. Underneath that shelf is my portable 13-inch planer, which is on wheels, which I roll to the window and out the window. It's pretty heavy, so that's a good test case for that. And then this is a 40-year-old Black & Decker Workmate, which, believe it or not, I had in storage and I wasn't using it inside, but it is a great lower level bench and clamping surface when I need to do some hand sawing. It's fantastic, so definitely going to be using that. Finally, this area here, it's on wheels as well, currently just in between project storage, material storage, but I've got plans for this area as well. Now, finally, I use a Home Depot bucket, and thanks to someone I saw online, I built this, what do you call it? I don't know, bucket collector, cyclonic thing. And currently I have it hooked up so that I've got two ports into it. One is the current port just for the vacuum hose. Another one will go out to the sliding compound miter, which I'm still fiddling with. I've just set up a very temporary way to catch sawdust. I'm not happy with it. But again, this unit's on wheels. I just roll it out from underneath, and then that will go outside when the weather gets nice and I can do some more work outside. I don't have to worry so much outside about the sawdust. And now, finally, I installed this drawer underneath the workbench for some organization. My fasteners were all over the place before, and this provides some pretty good organization. So really, that's it in a nutshell. I've already shown you guys the cabinets I installed on the ceiling, and the reason I installed them on the ceiling is so that I could have this pegboard sit behind and roll out so that I can access things when I need them, but that I wouldn't waste the space on the wall where the cabinets got installed. And so that little bit of LED lighting I had left over, some under cabinet halogens, and now it's actually feeling more like a workspace that I can use rather than one that I have to move around stuff and Christmas decorations, and really not do any significant work in the off season. So I'm looking forward to using this a bit more over the next couple of months, figuring out what I need to improve, what I need to move around, and any suggestions you guys have would be great for ways that I could improve this. And thanks again for watching, and stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.